So during that time, people started text messaging people. And my other daughter, some kind of way, got to my aunt's house by phone, and she said she was okay. But my baby daughter and the two grandchildren, I didn't know where they were. I still hadn't heard from her. So she finally called, when she called, and said they were at the Astrodome in Texas. And then she told me the ordeal, what happened with her and the kids in that house. And I just thank God, because they were in an apartment with a friend, and the roof had caved in. And my grandchildren and my daughter, they had to airlift them out through those baskets, you know. That's how they got out. They were on the roof of the house, and I just thank God that they came out, you know. So they were in the Astrodome, and then, you know, people just was being so nice to people because they knew they were from the, you know, Katrina.
How did I leave? We left on off the fisherman boat. We got on a school bus, and they brought us here in Baton Rouge to Belmont on the airline.
So you basically had whatever you brought to the hospital with you?
I lost all that. I lost my shoes. The only thing I had on my feet was a pair of socks. Walking back up the steps. All I had on was a green scrub suit. I had that from the time I left New Orleans to the time I come to Baton Rouge.
Now what happened with your mom?
Well, my mother was in Austin, Texas at the time. My sister called and located us and made a reservation for us to leave from the church to go to Austin. That's where I was, Austin, Texas.
So how'd your mom get out?
Orders the young men that, I don't know where they got boats from, had a boat, and they told her, Miss Lily, come up before you drown. And she didn't want to go. You know, they stuffing it like them houses. And my brother and them, they had to pick her up and put her in a boat. And she said she got on top of the school, the Daniel School, and a helicopter just left up in there and brought her to Texas.
Coming here to Earl K. Long.
Well, let me tell you about Earl K. Long. I had a time with Earl K. Long. Charity had furloughed us, and we didn't have a job. They told us and promised us that we would be working at Earl K. Long with our same salary and everything. I went through living, you know. So what happened, I called dietary, and this lady, Miss Mary, I worked her every day. And she didn't know nothing. At first it was hiring us, then it was putting a freeze on us. And I begged this lady, and I worried this poor lady every day till the Lord opened doors and she let me in.
And they were out one day, and she
So
said,
you're talking about in Texas? Or?
yeah, in Texas.
Okay.
And my daughter was in Houston. But they didn't have a place to stay. It was still at the Astrodome. But they would come out, you know, during the day and just kind of walk around, and they run into people, and she said people were giving them money and, you know, stuff like that. So she said some lady, they were in an eating place. I don't know if it was a chicken, one of those Kentucky Fried Chicken somewhere. And you know, when people see people with children, you know, they kind of have compassion. They saw a young girl with the two kids. I couldn't do anything because I was here in Baton Rouge, you know. So she said, a lady took them in. A lady, total stranger, took my daughter and her two children in. And they stayed there, maybe about a month.
This is
at the lady's house. Yeah, she called me, she gave me the lady's phone number, and it was a young woman, but she was a single woman too, but an older child than my daughter's two children. So they stayed there with them. And then she finally moved out, you know, once she got the apartment, you know, they was giving out vouchers, and so she got the apartment. And that's how she started maintaining herself, you know, and the kids were all right. I was able to talk to them on the phone and stuff like that, but it was an ordeal, it really was.
So what do you miss the most about New Orleans?
I kind of miss the convenience. It's just, to me, you got to go so far for everything. And certain things I want, I could just walk to the corner store and get it, you know. But now you got to get in the car, go to Walmart, go to the Piggly Wigglies, you know, stuff like that. But it's not bad at all.
What do you miss the least about New Orleans?
What I miss the most about New Orleans?
Oh, what you miss the least about New
The
Orleans?
least?
Yeah.
the crime was horrible. So that was really not a nice thing, you know. And in my neighborhood, you know where I was, it was kind of, people was getting killed around there left and right, you know. It was really bad. I knew something was gonna happen, because it was just, you know, too much going on, too much killing.
Hypothetically, if Katrina hadn't hit and levees hadn't broken, all the flooding, what type of future did you see for yourself in New Orleans?
Well, I had 33 years at the hospital. I was trying to do 5 more years to retire.
Okay.
I had made my little flower garden, and you know, I was going to just retire and try to enjoy life, enjoy my retirement.
And does your retirement carry over here?
Oh yeah, it do. Thanks to Miss Mary.
And what do you miss the most about New Orleans?
Oh well, you know, New Orleans is a fast land town, and
What do you mean by fast lane?
I mean with the food, and anywhere you go, any time of night, you get something to eat, and you know, you always see people out, and you know, something going on, you know, so you know, I miss all that little bit stuff.
Okay.
You know, friends, and you know, I had people that I was related to there, you know.
What do you miss the least about New Orleans?
The least,
Yeah.
it ain't too much at least. I really miss right about now. I'm not, I don't know if I can go back now, you know, so much, I don't know.
What would it take to bring you back to New Orleans?
Well, it wouldn't take too much. I have a home in New Orleans I'm trying to rebuild, but right now I went through too much through the hurricane with New Orleans. I've seen too much, and right now I just want, you know, stay here to get my mind together.
Okay. So this is home for you now?
Yes, right now it is. You know, I like the little Baton Rouge. Yeah, a little bit of town, yeah. I get lost, but I find my way. You know, it's like they say, it's a circle. I never knew what people was talking about. I said, circle. But Lord, it's a circle. Go round and round.
But for some reason it got took away. But you know, God does things for a reason, and we are not. I mean, all we can do is question it and wonder why. But in some ways, it was good, and in some ways it was bad, because in some ways I know people who were living a life that their life needed to be improved. And so some people have improved their lives because of the storm. A lot of my friends I had a friend who was really strung out on crack cocaine. After the storm, now she's clean, she's living in Alabama, she's got a job, she owns her house, she got a car. So the difference between her life then and her life now is tremendous. So in some ways, God did what he needed to do. At least this is my opinion. God did what he needed to do to get some people's lives settled. Now there are still people who don't have jobs, and because you know you hear, why don't these people who come from New Orleans have jobs? Well, these are the people who don't have jobs in Houston, wherever they are right now, are the people who never had jobs in New Orleans. So it's not easy to say just get a job, especially if you don't have an education. And for the most part, the people who don't have jobs are people who don't have an education to get a job. So it's hard to say, and everybody looking in on these people who say, do this, do this, do this, or there are millions of jobs for you to get. You just have to look. It's easier said than done. So lives changed, and some for the better.
Yeah.
No, what advice would you give other people who went through a similar ordeal that you did? If they had to rebuild their lives in another city?
Well, all I can tell them, you know, you got to adjust. You got to first give it to the Lord and let him guide you there. And once you give it to him, he'll open them doors for you. Because anywhere he put you is where it's meant to be. And I feel like the Lord sent me here, so, you know, if he called me back to New Orleans, I'll go back. But right now, I'm here. And all I can tell people, you know, people have been very nice here in Baton Rouge. You know, even in Austin, Texas, they was nice, you know. So, I mean, and I don't know if I'm going back. Miss Mary's still nice to me. I might just stay here, I don't know. You know, so whenever she leave, I'm getting on up, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just taking it one day at a time seriously with my home and everything, because I don't have nothing to go back to. So I have to make the best of here, and I'm pretty good with it.
You're trying to rebuild your house.
Well, I'm trying to do something with it. Even if I don't go back, I have children, and my son and them are young, and even me won't go back. You know, just a place for them to live, but I'm all right. Well, like I go back to you again, the good Lord, because I was in a pretty messed up condition, losing my home, losing my job, and then on false promises, I had to really pray. My daughter told me, she said, "Woman, you cry every day." She said, "You just cry. She said, "I'm so glad Miss Mary hired you. I don't know what to do." Because I mean, it's like I lost it. It wasn't the material things. It's just that I'm here, and I'm by myself, and, you know, I'm like, I don't know no one, and in New Orleans, I can go several places. I know everybody just about in New Orleans. But here, I didn't know no one. But when I got here and got to Hurricane Loan, I found Miss Mary, and Melissa came along, so it's like I found a little family here. Got a little family. So that would keep me going, you know, but through prayers and the Lord opened doors through people, it works.
When you realized you had to stay?
Well, I always, in my life, as coming up as a young woman, I always never went back to anything that, if I had a bad experience, I didn't go back to it. So that was just, you know, devastating when I went back and saw the condition of the city, and I said, oh, no, I say, and I got to move on.
Yeah.
You know, doors open up, God bless me, and I got this job, and I thank God for my job.
Now, if there was no storm, no floods, and no destruction from Katrina, what do you think you would be doing in New Orleans? I mean, as far as your future?
Still in New Orleans, working for Orleans Parish School Board.
Okay.
Well, I thought I would retire from.
Now, what plans do you have for the future? I mean, when you were in New Orleans, what long-term plans do you have for the next 5 or 10 years?
Next 5 or 10 years, what not?
I'm saying when
I was in New Orleans,
what type of long-term plans do you have?
I was basically planning on buying that house, the house that I was in. That was one thing I was planning on doing, and just growing old gracefully, watching my grandchildren grow up, I guess, and trying to live right, you know, and treat people the way I want to be treated, you know, and I had no, you know, dreams of nothing other than that, no more than what God want me to have, you know, whatever blessings He want me to have. I'm looking forward to still getting that. Almighty God, I couldn't have made it without God being with me. I couldn't have made it.
Well, thanks a lot. It's good to see you again.
Okay, good to see you too, Shaw.